This movie tells the story that in 2031, humans successfully colonized planet Mars. In 2042, humans began to form a world government called the Alliance and succeeded in creating quantum drive technology that enabled humans to explore the cosmos. In other words, humans can teleport to other planets that are tens of thousands of light years away from Earth in a matter of seconds. However, in 2281, the Mars colony was deemed a failure, and thanks to that experience, human colonies have now grown into 3 planets divided into planet Earth, planet Zafti, and planet Elora. Unfortunately, in 2519, the human colony on planet Zafti rebelled to try to separate themselves from the Alliance. This made the Supreme Commander of the Alliance, nicknamed the Blood General, named James Ford, decide to drop a Q-bomb, or short for quantum bomb, on the rebel colony. This action resulted in planet Zafti being destroyed, along with more than 70 million of its inhabitants. This action, of course, had an impact on James Ford himself, where some people agreed with Ford's decision, while the rest condemned it as a very inhumane act. As a result, the Alliance leaders decided to dismiss Commander James Ford, unilaterally with dishonor. 5 years after the incident, an unexpected conflict occurred on planet Elora. 2 military members of the Vander plane who were assigned to monitor the mining area were suddenly attacked by an unknown entity. One of the people, who was a woman, immediately reported this to the Alliance command, stating that they were involved in contact for the first time with what they called aliens. However, when the command asked whether this first contact was positive or negative, the woman did not have time to answer. On planet Earth, this news was immediately conveyed to the Alliance military general named Aaron Ryle, who was on his way home. The command also informed that the people who survived the first contact were on their way back to headquarters. Realizing that the situation might be very dangerous, Ryle immediately ordered his subordinates to contact a doctor named Leah Goss and his former boss, General James Ford. On the other hand, James Ford, who had now become an ordinary citizen, was seen heading to a bar to drink with his friend named Dash. There, they got into a fight with a group of young men who were among the people who condemned Ford's actions for the destruction of planet Zafti. The fight finally stopped when a group of Alliance soldiers led by Marcus Bleck entered the bar to pick up Ford on orders from General Ryle. Arriving at the Alliance military headquarters, Ford met with Dr. Lee Goss, who was his ex-girlfriend, which of course made the situation even hotter. However, they soon set aside this personal matter after realizing that they were facing the possibility of first contact with aliens that proved that humans were not alone. Here, Ford suggests that Marcus prepare the Q-bomb as soon as possible as the last resort weapon if this problem becomes very threatening. Marcus then contacts Sergeant Locke and asks him to immediately call a quantum engineer named Fiona to prepare the teleportation bridge and Q-bomb, a weapon that has the explosive power to erase a planet. And even if not treated properly, its explosive power could reach the radius of Pluto to at least create a black hole. Meanwhile, at the plane base, Marcus and Dr. Goss are seen waiting for the arrival of some of the Vander plane crew who survived the previous first contact. The Vander crew were then escorted to the sterilization room for decontamination protocol. Goss is seen protesting against this protocol because the crew should have been interviewed first about the first contact incident, while they still remember whether it was negative or positive for both species. At the same time, one of the soldiers, who was also the son of General Ryle, named Braxton, came to the room because he was curious about what had happened. However, after the sterilization process was completed, the Vander crew suddenly showed strange signs and began attacking the 2 guards there. One of the Vander crew was also seen vomiting a black object from his mouth before Braxton fired a shot to stop the other Vander crew who started attacking. Immediately, Sergeant Locke and Braxton were seen leaving the room and locking it. This automatically triggered a danger alarm. The Vander crew, who had clearly been contaminated by the aliens, took weapons from the guards they had paralyzed and then fought back. The situation became even more chaotic because, in addition to the aliens quickly being able to adapt to human weapons, the black blood that came out of their bodies was also able to change other humans into part of the aliens. And this battle also resulted in Sergeant Locke's death from a gunshot wound to the head. In the end, this chaos was stopped after Ford appeared with a heavy weapon. After it was known that the first contact was negative, Ryle then activated a mission called Operation Cosmic Sin, a mission based on a thesis on biological behavior, where if there is a first contact that is negative, then humans are obliged to attack first. Basically, the Alliance does not want to wait for these foreign entities to bring war to Earth, but rather humans will bring war to the aliens. This concept is similar to Ford's action when he wiped out planet Zafti along with 70 million of its inhabitants. Therefore, Ford wanted to run this operation as long as the Alliance restored his rank in retirement. Goss also protested this operation because maybe not all aliens were bad, but because this concerns the safety of humanity, they have no choice but to do it. In short, 7 people were sent to planet Elora, where the first contact occurred, to find out where the aliens' home planet was. This team consists of Ryle, Ford, Goss, Marcus, Dash, Braxton, and Fiona, who will bring the Q-bomb to take care of it so that the bomb can remain stable until the time needed. Here, Fiona also revealed that when the previous war occurred, she detected a very strong foreign tracking signal with an intergalactic radius. If the project came from the aliens, then in the next 6 hours there might be a large number of alien troops coming to visit Earth. This, of course, prompted them to quickly find out where the aliens came from before Earth was invaded. After wearing a uniform named Icarus, they went to planet Elora via the quantum bridge. In a few seconds, they arrived in orbit of planet Elora, which was more than 13,000 light-years away, and had to glide into the planet by passing through the combat area between human defense aircraft and alien aircraft. Until they reached the atmosphere, the falling debris of the aircraft caused some of them to collide with each other, separating their landing paths. Braxton, Marcus, and Fiona, who were separated and could not communicate with the others, were suddenly attacked by a group of aliens, causing Marcus to be shot in the shoulder. Fortunately, at that time a group of Elora military came to help them, and after a little conversation, Fiona and the others took Marcus to the satellite cannon base for treatment. Meanwhile, Braxton, along with the Elora military named Saul Cantos, went to look for the coordinates of the alien plane that crashed that was detected near their location. Upon arriving there, Braxton was immediately able to get the coordinate point of the alien's home planet after tracing it through the radioactive path taken by the alien plane. Meanwhile, Ford, who landed alone, was suddenly surrounded by several aliens. But instead of killing Ford, the aliens told Ford to enter a cave where Ford met one of the alien leaders, who made him hallucinate about his love affair with Goss. Luckily, not long after that, Ryle came shooting the alien leader to wake Ford up. After that, they immediately went to the satellite cannon base to carry out the next plan. Upon arriving there, Fiona immediately stated that the system was currently offline because they were experiencing another very strong signal interference. So for a while they had to wait for the system to come back online so that the satellite cannon could be used to attack the coordinates of the alien planet. This, of course, made Ryle very frustrated, but he was soon distracted by Marcus's worsening condition. In the end, Marcus breathed his last breath. After joining for a while, and Dash, who turned out to be still alive, Fiona's computer showed a picture of a stable quantum gate belonging to the aliens that was in the process of forming 90,000 miles from planet Elora. This, of course, surprised them all, because the quantum technology of these aliens turned out to be much more advanced than the quantum technology currently mastered by humans. Most likely, later the alien troops will emerge from the gate in unimaginable numbers, and now what they have to think about is how to send the Q-bomb into the gate and then close the gate afterwards. Because if the Q-bomb explodes and the gate is not closed, there is a high possibility that planet Elora will be dragged into the black hole created by the Q-bomb explosion. Not finding a bright spot, they went to one of the base doors to resist the aliens who were approaching. While Fiona went to the main computer to try to get the system back online, she suddenly received communication from Ryle, who was still in orbit of planet Elora. Ryle admitted that his Icarus was damaged, but he still had control over the thruster. He asked Fiona what options he could do to help. Fiona suggested that Ryle help close the quantum gate of the aliens by triggering self-destruction from close range. Meanwhile, the other group was seen facing the aliens, where Goss also appeared there as part of the alien leader. Because it turned out, after the alien leader was killed by Braxton, The aliens captured Goss and used her body as a new host by injecting alien blood into Goss's body. From here, it was finally known that the aliens had parasitic blood that could take over the body of anyone who had been contaminated. In the conversation, the aliens offered a peaceful way by letting the aliens breed in the body of every human, because they considered that their species, who came from the solar system named Sagia Majora, was the most superior race. Of course, this offer was immediately rejected by the human side, led by Ford. Finally, the battle was inevitable. Realizing that his troops were starting to be defeated, the alien leader who was in Goss's body decided to use the plane. Seeing this, Ford quickly moved to follow the plane. On the other hand, Ryle was ready on the side of the quantum gate of the aliens and waited for the right time to trigger self-destruction. Fiona also managed to send the Q-bomb towards the quantum gate of the aliens using the satellite cannon. But unfortunately, the bomb was successfully stopped by the alien leader who had been waiting in front of the quantum gate. Even so, Ford was also there to divert the alien leader, causing them both to be pushed in opposite directions, and the Q-bomb flew back to the Sagia Majora solar system. Meanwhile, Ryle, who was ready to blow himself up, suddenly could not take over the system in his Icarus because of an error. Realizing that he still had fuel to create a big explosion, Ryle asked Fiona to fire the satellite cannon again at his current coordinate point, because that was the only way they could do to destroy the quantum gate. At that time, it turned out that Braxton also heard the communication from his father, and although it was very hard to do, but in the end, Braxton let go of his father's departure for the sake of the safety of all humanity. After that, Braxton then vented his anger at one of the aliens who was still alive, while Ford finally managed to survive and land back on planet Elora. A few days later, they all returned to Earth. Braxton established a relationship with Fiona and was seen enjoying the night at a bar. There were also Dash, Saul Cantos, and Ford, whose ranks in retirement were returned. And the movie ends. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, because by subscribing you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.